This show, people are talking about it, which is always a good thing. Some people are super excited. Some people have been a little snarky, which is whatever. But what do you want people to take away from this? What's the message? Why did you want to do it?
I think that we've been talking about this all morning and saying, for me, I want the queer community to have a conversation about why it is that we will praise women when they are in a very similar position. But an interviewer earlier said to us, we want to see gay people as the underdogs. And I don't know how truthful that is, but it was an interesting statement because I think that there's a part of us that wants to see other people be represented and doesn't want to see ourselves be represented in this specific light. And I think that's an interesting conversation that we need to have because male queer ensemble shows have existed before, and universally they have not been embraced by the community that they're intended to entertain. So I don't know. I hope that our show breaks that mold and at the very least creates a conversation where people talk about why it is that there is negativity from within our own community.
Thank you for that. Brad, for you, what do you want people to take away from this show? Because I think, I saw the idea for it and I was like, sign me up. Sounds like good TV to me. But I'm in.
Well, I have never been a part of an ensemble before, and I was really excited about doing something that was an all-gay cast. I think representation is really important, and I think, especially right now with the climate we live in and all of the anti-LGBTQ plus bills and the protests and everything that's happening, I think it's important to be out and be telling stories. And whether or not, I just hope that for me doing this show was like, if one person can see that they can be in a long-term relationship, they can be sober for a really long time, they can exist in the gay world without using drugs and alcohol and be successful. I mean, that's my story, and that's the story I'm telling, and I'm really excited also that I get to do it with these guys who have been super candid and vulnerable and total open books, and it's a real authentic experience people are going to see.
Thank you for sharing all that. Joey, for you, what's your hope? Because, I love, we've got Brad, who's been married a long time. We have you, who's recently engaged. What do you want people to take away from this show?
I think for me, it's like, we definitely touch on, like in the first episode, just the negative connotation of, my job and my career in general, but also like, having people hopefully relate to my own insecurities and the things that I've had to push through, and just to see all of us in our real lives and our natural habitats, and just like, being ourselves and being authentic, and also getting to know each other as a group on television. Like that in and of itself, getting to know people can be tricky in general. And I know for me, I just want people to hopefully see themselves and be able to be open and learn to love themselves a little bit more.
Love that. Todrick, we talked about these shows. I think for all of us, I wish, we can talk about what the programs we wish we would have had growing up. What do you think it would have been like for you growing up as a younger person to be able to turn on the TV and see a show like the one that you've created, just showing people in their lives who just happen to be gay men?
I think the word life-changing gets thrown around a lot, but that would have been life-changing. It would have given me the confidence to understand that I wasn't alone, because when you're in a small town in Texas like I grew up in, and you don't see yourself anywhere, you feel like you're an alien. That you're from another planet and that you don't belong, you're broken. And I think to see not just queer people, but queer people who have found a way to be successful and who are living their lives proud and happy and married and successful, I think would have helped me see that there was like a blueprint, a model of like something to strive for. And so I think it's really, really important. And I hope that because of everybody's candid nature to how they participated in this show, that we break a mold and maybe they have found the way to tell these stories with our show. That's my true hope for us.
No, thank you for sharing that. Brad, I really like what you said about, showing that you can be in a long-term relationship, you can be sober for a really long time. Because I think with addiction and the LGBT community, there's a lot of conversations that need to be had. And we don't see, especially in this kind of format of reality, people who are sober. And so how are we going to see that? Is it something that, you're going to be able to talk about and kind of share your story on this series? Because I think it could be really helpful for a lot of people.
Well, I talked about it a lot during filming. I'm not sure what's made it into the cuts, but I've always been very open about the fact that I'm sober, and I'm 21 and a half years now, 22 in May. And, you know, it's been transformative for me. And, you know, I hope that it inspires people, or it lets people know that there is a way to navigate this world without, and be happy and go out and connect with people and have a really great life without drugs and alcohol.
Thank you for sharing that. Joey, you know, you talked about, you know, you as a content creator, the word influencer, I don't know if you like that word, but, you know, we all know what that means. But, you know, you said that there's people that love to hate on that and like, don't think it's a thing. What do you want to say to people about the work that you do and your job as, you know, a creator?
Well, I think in general, it's just never good to lump every single person into the same category, because each individual person has their own story and their own specific way they do things. And, you know, for me, in my content, for instance, it's about helping other people, and that's what I love to do. And, you know, just putting smiles on people's faces and helping them through a breakup or whatever. Like growing up, I never had a role model or anybody to look up to. And I didn't even know what that meant or what it looked like. And, you know, the big part of doing this show for me was hopefully to show people that's what I want to do. And that's what I want to do, is to help people. And, you know, hopefully it creates role models in all of us for other people to see and watch, and help their journey growing up. Like, because I don't think we had that growing up.
Love that. Todrick, before we wrap up, you know, I think, you know, you've taken on the controversy head on. What do you want people, to know about who you are? Because I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of people talking about things that maybe they necessarily don't know all the information on.
I think that for years, I have just kept my head down and not addressed drama or controversy or allegations, because it's a very deep rabbit hole. And I think ultimately, people seeing that I'm an unsigned artist, I don't have a record label, and I have to move and navigate as if I do have them. I think that being a gay artist is very difficult. Being a gay artist of color is very, very difficult. And anybody who makes it to a certain level where people know who they are should be applauded, in my opinion, for having to jump over the hurdles that they had to jump over to get to where they are. I'm very, very proud of the 700 videos that I've self-produced. I take on every single responsibility for any bills that were late being paid, or things that I had difficulty learning in my process, because it is not normal for somebody to be their own producer, their own record label, their own manager, their own publicist, their own everything. But that's what I had to do, because people weren't signing queer people. That's why there's a serious lack of queer artists that are out there in the mainstream. So I'm very proud of what I've done. I'm willing to take accountability for the mistakes that I've made, and I'm glad that this show is giving me a huge platform to be able to do that.
Well, Anthony, the thing that I think is special about this show is we are aware of the cameras. We are aware that we are filming a show. We zoom out and show it all. And we all got asked, what is our why? Why did we want to do this? Some of us, it took a lot of convincing to get us to do this, both of the guys in this room. And my why came down to, I needed hope. I needed somebody to show me that where I came from, I could get to where I am now. And I grew up with teachers, parents, people in the church, kids, everybody telling me that who I was wrong, and that I was never gonna have happiness and I didn't deserve happiness. And I let that put me into a really dark place, Anthony. And I stayed there for a really long time. And I even as an adult, got into this really dark place and was in really unhealthy relationships. And I just didn't have that hope at all that I could have what I have now. And I didn't honestly want to continue. And I just feel like there's going to be people that watch this that are where I was. And I just want to show them, hey, if you just hang on just a little bit longer, you will have your happy ending, whatever that is for you. Mine was to have a husband that I love, that loves me, that we just have this wonderful best friend life that we live every day. Because I was told I couldn't have that. And so that was my reason. I wanted to show, hey, little Jaymes in that dark place, get out of there. Because this is what.
Jaymes, thank you so much for sharing that. And listen, I'm so glad you are here. You know that I love you. Curtis, for you, your why, I mean, what do you hope that people tune into this show? Because there's a lot of eyes on it. People are excited about it. There's the drag race of it all. There's going to be a lot of people that see this.
Thank you, Jaymes, for everything you said, man. And hopefully I get to see that side of you on the show because when I'm not around you, but it's for stuff like that, man. And I want the people who are being very aggressively mean and vile to the show, knowing that there's stories like Jaymes that people are going through in real life and you just never know what people are going through. And we need your support, and it's not for vanity reasons. It is, we just need to support one another in more ways. And I came on the show, obviously, man, I'm living out in real time, literally, like find out on the show that are friends of mine. I didn't tell them. I don't know if that's a good thing of me, if that's a negative character of me, character trait, but it's what's just really what it is. I live my life very private. I'm always been the type of person, I'm not an excuse person, and I never wanted anything to do with me to be treated a certain way because of something. And sexuality is something that is such a huge component, and people, you tell them that and they completely change their view of you and how they look at you, how they treat you, which is ridiculous. And I just feel I'm at a place now. I get on jobs and I flirt with these girls. I'm always, usually the leading man. So I'm like having to get close to girls, and they, in a way, they want to hook up or have fun or go there. And I never do. And I always just feel so bad that I just can't be honest with them. Mm-hmm. And I can't really speak my truth to them to tell what's going on with me. And, and that's just that. It's deteriorating. I felt like this is a time for me to take my power and to get support and it's like therapy for me to do this show. It really was like therapy. And I'm just, as hesitant as it was, I'm really excited. I'm really happy that I did it. Not excited. I'm really happy that I did it. And I would just hope that, people see it and they fall in love and want to know more and have me, just do what I can to help whoever may be in the same position as me.
Yeah, Anthony, there's some people on this show that did it for some really beautiful reasons. And I'm excited for people to get to see those reasons because I think they're going to really be helpful to a lot of people. And can I just circle back before you go? And so you asked us the housewives stuff at the beginning.
Now you thought of one.
No, people keep trying to put us in that box. And this is not that. This is not that at all, for so many reasons. Beyond the fact that we're aware of the cameras, it's also that if there is something that comes up, there's resolution because we're stronger as a community when we're all together. And I think that's what the big thing is with this, is as we're navigating, getting to know each other, there'll be some bumps, but it's about coming together in the end and having that resolution and learning from it and being stronger as a unit, or as I like to say, the alphabet mafia. So, I think there's something really beautiful to learn from that for our LGBTQ plus community because we are stronger together.
Listen, I am here for it. And thank you both for sharing such wonderful, personal stuff. I really appreciate it. And just to preview everyone, a big star comes in because of Curtis in the first episode. I won't tell you who it is, but it is in there. So
Curtis is very famous. They all come from We love Curtis.
Just a reminder, everyone, you can watch the premiere of The Real Friends of WeHo on January 20th at 8 o'clock on MTV.